Hello everybody, what is up? I'm Julia, friends call me J-Rock. Thank you so much for checking out the YouTube page. I appreciate you being here. If you like this video, be sure you hit that thumbs up and you might as well subscribe while you're here. Today is an exciting day because it is episode 2 of the Creator Series. You should have checked out the first one. Today we're featuring Mr. Servante Cook, who is the creative director of Tailored Moments, which is an amazing event curating firm based right here in Houston. Please stay tuned because that's coming up next. I'm so excited because today we have Mr. Servante Cook, the owner, operator, and event curator for Tailored Moments. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing really good.
So, first things first, I want you to kind of share with everybody what Tailored Moments is, and then we can hop into the interview from there.
So, I'm Servante. I am Chief Creative Officer of Tailored Moments Event Curators. We are a curating brand, basically kind of like event planning. We started earlier this year.
So just tell us a little bit about your background. Like, how did you even get into event planning?
I started doing event planning when I was in college. I went to school for advertising, and I kind of dibbed and dabbled in it.
Okay.
I worked in retail for a very long time. I was a retail manager for about probably like 5 years now, but I've been in retail for like over 10 years.
Okay.
And with the last brand that I worked for, we did a lot of events, and that's where that inspiration started to come from.
Okay.
And so I decided to start doing that on my own.
So tell us where the name Tailored Moments comes from. I mean, I guess it sounds kind of self-explanatory, but I always feel like a company name probably has a little bit more behind it.
Yeah, no, actually Tailored Moments is pretty self-explanatory. We use the word moment and use the word tailored just because we really want our guests to feel like no matter what their budget is, no matter what crazy type of event it is, we can always tailor that experience exactly to your vision.
Okay.
But I use the word moment a lot. I'm always saying that's a moment, I'm having a moment.
Okay.
So Tailored Moment was just kind of like natural for me.
In reading your bio, you talked a little bit about going beyond event planning. It's not just, throwing somebody's party. It's more like an experience. Can you talk a little bit about that?
One of the things, as I was thinking about being an event planner or an event curator is what is it that's missing in the industry? And one of the things that I've always noticed is like we're lacking the interactive part. We're so tied to our cell phones and to social media. So I wanted to make sure that I created events that cause people to forget about that. Okay. To keep everybody really interactive and keep it intimate settings. Because when you think about event planning, you think about weddings and things really big like that. But we don't focus on that. We focus on other things that's super intimate.
Walk me through it a little bit. When it comes to planning someone's event, does someone just call and say, I've got this idea, and then how does it go from concept to reality? Okay,
so typically you would go through our website, which is tailored-moments.com.
Write it down. Write it down.
Yeah, you would go through the website, and there's a bookings tab, and so within that tab you fill out a questionnaire, and the questionnaire has all of these things in there that kind of help us get a better vibe of what type of event you want. Okay. And you can pick different services, so curating, consulting, and then we also will coordinate an event for you.
Okay.
And so that's where it starts. And then after that, we get the email, and then we follow up with you. We set up a video chat, or we set up a meet and greet, and then we talk about your event a little bit further.
Talk to me a little bit about where your ideas come from. I mean, I consider myself to be a creative person, but I don't know if I could do what you do. So how do, if someone gives you this idea of I want this event, where does your inspiration or your ideas come from to kind of bring it to life?
So for me, a lot of times I find inspiration everywhere. So I'm already that person that have a bunch of ideas in the back of my head, saved on my phone.
Okay.
I make vision boards all the time. So I kind of like have concepts in my head already around what I want to do from a decor perspective. But it's really about the guest and what they want. If my client really wants, a birthday party, and she wants a specific color, I just get on social media, I look at what I already have. I love to go to different art shows and things like that, and I love graffiti art. Okay. And sometimes that stuff inspires me in a really weird way.
Okay.
But what I like to do for my clients is I like to create kind of a mood board, and I send it to them just so they can see my thought process. Because sometimes they'll get excited about that, but sometimes they'll say, okay, I'm not crazy about this color scheme, let's go another route. But that's kind of how my mind works towards making it happen.
When you think about like the best events, like what's their it factor or their X factor that kind of sets them apart from your run-of-the-mill event that no one will ever remember again?
I think it ties right back to creating events that keep people interacting with each other. To where we're all involved. Maybe there is a Polaroid station where everybody takes pictures and they get to post it and they get to write a note to whoever's hosting the party. Maybe it's an art show, and then instead of you just viewing art, you're actually making art. Just those type of events that keep you active within the event, so that way you're forgetting about posting to your timeline or checking your newsfeed and all that stuff that we love to do.
What would you say are some of the common misconceptions about like event planning or event curating? I know that people watch movies about like the wedding planner and so forth, and it's like, okay, I think I could do this, but what do you think are some of the common misconceptions that people have about what you do?
I think a lot of people believe that it's glamorous in a way. It's not. And I think, if you think about wedding planners and think about television reality shows like David Tutura, those type of people, they kind of portray the industry in a real like fun and glamorous way, but it's a lot of work, and it's stressful, and you really have to love doing things for people and creating moments for people, because if you don't love people and working your butt off for people, you're not gonna have a good time. And we're in a huge like DIY stage to where everybody think that they can just do it themselves. And essentially you can if you want to do an event for yourself, but think about how special it would be if you were surprised at your event as well. You wouldn't have to worry about that. Imagine you just being able to mingle with your guests and not even have to think about the stuff that's going on behind the scenes.
Let's transition a little bit. We've talked a little bit about what you do and what your business is. So I want to talk a little bit about just entrepreneurship in general. What really made you decide that I want to branch out and do my own thing? From reading your bio and talking with you, separately, it sounds like you have some great skills, and you could have been in any other event planning or event curating firm and rise to the top. What made you want to strike out on your own?
Entrepreneurship for me has always been, it's kind of inspired through my dad. My dad started his own business at a young age, and he has worked for himself for as long as I can remember. So, when I was younger, I didn't really pay attention to that. But as I get older and I'm a black man and all these things, I'm like, I need to use my creativity and use the things that I've learned to really benefit myself and benefit my community. And so I felt like the right way was to start this on my own and not go the route of working for someone else, because I've already done that.
Launching your own company, I know that it comes with a lot of challenges and a lot of just issues, and then there's also some positives. So how about you share with some of the folks, some of the challenges that you've faced, and then some things that have surprised you in a positive way about entrepreneurship?
One of the biggest things, and I don't want to portray that I've been doing this for a long time. I'm new at this, but I'm learning a lot about not thinking that I have to know everything. I'm a perfectionist, and sometimes I won't finish things because something else isn't done. And I feel like everything has to move and have to fit like a puzzle, but that's not growth. That's not true growth. That's not what real entrepreneurship is about. Sometimes you have to go for it, and you have to fail, and you have to go back to the drawing board and do things all over again. And for me, that's been one of my biggest challenges, is to know that I don't have to know it all. Like, I can go in it blinded. I can just jump and make, mistakes sometimes. It's okay to do that. Another thing that I've learned is not having the start, the middle, and the end. Sometimes, for me, I hate numbers and the operational part of everything. I love the fun, the color, the decorating, I love all of that part of what I do.
So you're the creative, not necessarily the analytical
I'm not the analytical person at all. But I know that I have to do it. I know that right now I have to make it happen, but I don't have to get stuck in that. Because if I stay in that mindset of that stressing me out, I'll never get anything done.
What are your thoughts about the entrepreneurial scene here in Houston? I've seen you out and about, so I know that you hang out with the movers and shakers.
I'm trying.
I'm not there yet, y'all, but I'm getting there.
Not quite.
But what are your thoughts on the entrepreneurial scene here in Houston, particularly around like Black entrepreneurs?
Okay.
You want to talk a little bit about that?
I think, we're in this pro-Black moment, and I love it. And I think that we talk a lot about creating opportunities for ourselves and really supporting each other. And I think the next step is to really own that and understand why it's important. I think what Houston is missing is the spirit of collaboration.
Okay.
We talk a lot about networking and getting to know people, but the follow-up piece isn't there.
Right.
I cannot tell you how many people I meet when I go to these networking events.
And I'll call you.
I'll call you. I'll stay in contact. Email me, all of that. And I'm that person that does that. I do it a lot. Every Monday I reach out to people, and sometimes at first it got a little discouraging because I would never hear anything back. Mm-hmm. But I love being that person at the next event, like, hey, I reached out to you, did you? Yeah, because I'm all about accountability. If you tell me that to reach out, I'm gonna reach out. And I think that that's what's missing in the entrepreneurship scene in Houston, but then even bigger in our Black community, as I think that we need to keep our word and we need to understand why it's really important for us to do that.
How long have you been in Houston, and then also how long has your company been in business so that people can get some context?
I've been in Houston for it's been 4 years. Wow, okay. It's crazy. I'm originally from Chicago, so shout out to Chicago. So I've been in Houston for 4 years, and then Tailored Moments have been going since January, at the beginning of the year. The first event was my birthday party, and so here we are now, actually planning events for a lot of people.
People talk a lot about, the habits of successful people. Mm-hmm. What's one thing that you do every day to keep your business moving forward and to try to strive towards your success? I mean, we all do something. We check email, we try to follow up, but is there one particular thing that you do every day to move your business forward?
It's kind of ironic, but I'm a huge planner. So I write out, I use a written calendar as well as my digital calendar on my phone. So I plan out everything. My alarm might go off in a while and tell me to post to social media. I think I stay wired that way. Like, I wake up and I have a plan, because if I don't, I'll become a little comfortable and things will fall off. And all it takes is 2 days for me to fall off, and then it's a month. And so I have to make sure that I stay on task and make sure that it's written down and I see it every day. So that's like my big thing.
Let's jump into some fun kind of personal questions. Okay. So if there was a dream event you could plan for any celebrity, who is it? And what event would it be?
Man, I don't know if I can pick one celebrity. I think, and anyone that knows me know that I'm obsessed with Beyonce. But we won't go there. I think if I can plan an event, a dream event, because I'm really huge on 90s sitcom, 90s like television, that whole thing. I really want to plan a huge 90s theme picnic. So I want everyone like dressed, in 90s, but like 90s from like East Coast and West Coast 90s. Like, I want that whole feel. I want nothing but that type of music playing. I want artists from that time playing. Like, I really want to kind of embody that food from back then. Like, just very pro-Black and like fun and straight up 90s. Okay. So no particular celebrity that Beyonce sounds like she might be in there. Well, Beyonce, I think it will be great to plan for her, but for that event, I'm thinking like Will Smith needs to be there. Yeah, I'm thinking like P. Diddy needs to be there. Like I'm thinking something like that. Maybe Lil' Kim there. Maybe a Bad Boys thing. Maybe like an East Coast, West Coast, but like not a rival. Right. Maybe a little more togetherness. I just see something like that because I love the 90s.
One other personal question for you. So like I said, I see you out in the Houston scene, So where do you like to go in your free time? And, I know that planning events is busy and crazy and it's hectic and you're dealing with customers and all their temperaments. So when you're ready to relax and kick back and have a good time, where do you go in Houston?
I like to eat.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
I like to eat. If it involves food, I'm all about it.
Why you never called me?
Man, I'm down. I'm down for some good brunch. I love brunch.
Yes.
Man, I just love food. One of my favorite places in Houston is Bo-Em.
Okay.
Bo-Em is in Montrose on Fairview, so shout out to Bo-Em. I love their snacks. They have these Bangkok fries. It's kind of like a loaded fry situation, and like all this stuff on it. So good. They do a really good sangria. I just like to chill there. It's super. It's kind of dim lighting. It's not too crazy in there. That's one of my favorite spots. And another thing I like to do is go to coffee shops. I love coffee shops.
Okay.
So if I'm
like Starbucks, or they're like
no, like legit. I like Starbucks too. You know, I get my points. But no, like I love Siphon Cafe. Okay. I love Too Sweet. I just love the coffee shop atmosphere. I spent about 2 years living in San Francisco, and it's a lot of coffee shops there, and I just really started to appreciate that like vibe.
Okay. I wish I could find more coffee shops. For me, I've been to Too Sweet, but I haven't been to some of the others, so now I've got some recommendations.
You gotta go to Siphon, and then hit me up. I can tell you, because I love coffee shops.
So now we're kind of turning the corner here, and I like to call this portion of the interview the Creator's Corner. Okay. If you had one piece of advice for someone who wants to either become an event curator like yourself and running their own company, or just entrepreneurship period and want to become an entrepreneur, what would you tell them? You know, I recently read this book, and I don't want to take credit for it. So the book is called Big Magic, and it's by Elizabeth Gilbert. She's the author of Eat, Pray, Love. So shout out to her, because I love the book. But one of the things she said in the book is, do not force your creativity to be your only source of income at first, because you don't want to give your creativity that type of responsibility. You don't want to be in a space where you are you're forcing that out of yourself because you have to eat. Right. Because then that's when things will happen that's not genuine. So I recently, left my full-time job and looking for a part-time job, to kind of level things out. But I don't want to step away from everything and say that Taylor Moments is going to take care of everything right now. Okay. And I read that at first, and I was like, people always say, stop what you're doing and follow your dreams. Right, just take that leap, jump off the cliff. Take that leap and follow your dreams, and that's great. But I think we have to be smart today, and understand that where we are and how we have to set a really good bench for ourselves. She didn't stop doing her job until I think like her 4th book or something. It took her a while before she said okay, and it was because for what she did before was enough for her to live. She said, I have what I need to live right now. Now I can stop. Right. And I think that spoke to me, and I think that would be one of my biggest advice to someone is don't force your creativity. Be inspired everywhere. Don't get in a space where you're in a corner and you gotta force that creativity come out of you. Okay. Yeah, let it flow. You said that you started about, back in January. So, you're a young company, but where do you see yourself in 5 years, and where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you see Tailored Moments in 5 years and in 10 years? Well, I see a lot of things, because I have ideas all day. Like, I can't sleep sometimes because I'm like thinking about what I want to do next. But as far as like big picture, I just want Tailored Moments to be like just this brand of different things. I want venues. I want a stationary shop. I want all these type of things. So yeah. Okay, that's awesome. It's awesome. So you got lofty goals for Tailored Moments. So at this part of the interview, though, this is when I leave you alone with the camera. This is the time for you to pitch all things Tailored Moments. Where can people find you? Your social media, your online presence. This is kind of your shameless 30-second play. Yo, what's up? It's me, Servante, Chief Creative Officer of Tailored Moments. You can find us at our website on Tailored-Moments. That's TAILORED-moments.com. You can book us, you can subscribe, you can send us a note. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our handle is at Tailored Moments, just straight up like that. And you can also follow and like our page on Facebook, and that's TM Curators. Thank you. Thank you so much, Servante, for coming through and being in the building. coming and sharing some words of wisdom and sharing your experiences being an entrepreneur. You know, we're just starting out with the Creator Series, so I appreciate you taking a chance on my YouTube channel. So we'll be posting the video soon, but thank you again, sir. And you heard all of his stuff, so I want to make sure that you guys sign up, click like, comment, all of that. He's waiting to hear from you guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you. And to all my Tumbleweed Logic subscribers out there and those who are watching, laugh hard, love hard, dream big. We're out of here.